On July 22, 1901, Florence Lowe Barnes, later known as Pancho Barnes, was born in Pasadena, California. At the age of 10, she attended her first air show. In 1928, after only 6 hours of instruction, Pancho took her first solo flight, and by the next year she was running a barnstorming show as well as competing in air races. Alongside 19 fellow aviatrix, including Amelia Earhart, Pancho competed in the first official women-only air race in the United States, the Women's Air Derby, also known as the Powder Puff Derby. During the race, Pancho crashed into a car that drove into the runway as her plane was landing. The accident wrecked her plane, injured Pancho, and sent her out of the race. Following the Women's Air Derby, Pancho joined the newly formed 99s, International Organization of Women Pilots. The next year, in 1930, Pancho again competed in the Women's Air Derby, this time winning it in a Travel Air Type R mystery ship. During this race, she also broke Amelia's world women's speed record by reaching 196.19 miles per hour. Moving to Hollywood as a stunt pilot, she organized the Associated Motion Picture Pilots, one of the first trade unions in the growing film industry. With the AMPP, Pancho increased safety standards, sought medical coverage, and pushed for higher pay for pilots working in this dangerous line of work. During the Great Depression, like a lot of people, Pancho lost all her money, and so she was forced to sell her apartment in Hollywood, and she moved to 180 acres in the Mojave Desert. As the golden age of aviation began to fade, Pancho refused to fade with it. On her new land, situated near what would become Edwards Air Force Base, she set up a dude ranch, hotel, and restaurant called the Happy Bottom Riding Club. The club became extremely popular with the aviation community and the test pilots based at the nearby airbase. Fellow aviation legends such as Chuck Yeager, Bob Hoover, and Buzz Aldrin all became close friends with Pancho. This was no doubt helped by Pancho's policy of giving pilots a free steak dinner when they personally broke the sound barrier for the first time. In 1947, after breaking the sound barrier in an experimental Bell X-1, Chuck Yeager was awarded the first of many complimentary steak dinners at the ranch. However, in 1952, the good times began to end. The United States Air Force announced the need of a super long runway to accommodate the new atomic airplanes under development. The runway directly crossed Pancho's ranch. And after Pancho refused to sell for a price she deemed unacceptable, the Air Force accused her of running a house of ill repute. This effectively banned all military personnel from her business. After filing a lawsuit and at the height of the court battle in 1953, the ranch burned in a fire of mysterious origin. Undeterred, Pancho won the lawsuit and was awarded $375,000 for the property, and her name was cleared from all allegations. She packed up and moved to Cantil, California, in the hope of setting up another similar business. The runway was never built. It wouldn't be until the 1960s when the wounds between Pancho and the Air Force began to heal. She again became a common figure at the base and was referred to as the mother of Edwards Air Force Base. In 1975, Pancho Barnes was found dead in her home. She was 73. Her son Bill was given special permission by the Air Force to spread her ashes over the site of the Happy Bottom Riding Club. When flying over the site, a crosswind came up and blew her ashes back into the small Cessna aircraft to be carried aloft again. Even in death, Pancho loved a good joyride. We are pleased to feature Pancho's story as part of the Air Zoo's new Women in Air and Space interactive timeline.